Hey guys, Marsingit here, bringing you a Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we're going to be taking a proper look at the LR, AGL, Goten and Trunks that got their Super EZA with the release of all of the EX part stuff over here. I have used them already once briefly in an event. Those of you guys that were there at the stream, shout out to you when we went through all the content, did the summons and everything. I actually did try out Gohan's team against the Rose and Zamasu event, because obviously a lot of people have been saying that their leader skill is bad or that their team build is bad, and I used these guys on the team, so I haven't used them in a proper video, but they did very well in that run. So we're going to go through their details and everything here and then try them out and see what sort of numbers we get. Their 12 key super is colossal damage to the enemy and raises defense by 30% for one turn. Their 18 key is mega colossal damage to the enemy, raise defense by 30% for one turn. Because remember, when it comes to super EZAs, they don't change the super attack effects. So at least they do have the defense raise on the super attacks. So that is pretty good. And then we have their basic effects. Key 5 to 10 randomly, so just get randomly anywhere between 5 and 10 key. Attack and defense 250% and a high chance to dodge. When attacking with 12 or more key, they get another 200% attack and defense and a high chance of an extra 100% attack. When attacking with 18 or more key, they get another 100% attack and a high chance to crit. For every super attack performed, they get attack and defense 77% up to 200, so they've got to do 3 supers in order to do that. With 3 or more youth allies on the team, they change STR orbs to AGL and give all allies 10% crit chance. With 3 or more hybrid Saiyan allies on the team, they change Key Sphere's Tech to Rainbow and then allies 10% crit chance. Now remember, if we're running the Gohan, Goten and Trunks team, that's all of the allies already, because it doesn't say self-excluded, so it means them and the 2 leaders are 3 youth characters and 3 hybrid Saiyan characters, so obviously they're very well suited for this team. When all allies in the same turn are super class, they get attack and defense 150% and an extra 27% chance to dodge, or if there's an extreme ally in the rotation, they get 200% attack and 100% defense and 27% crit chance. I'm not really sure why they have that, because obviously there aren't any extreme like youth hybrid Saiyan characters or anything. The only thing I can think of is for like potentially a future Majin Buu saga build where we have like the Int Majin Vegeta EZA or something, but obviously we're going to be getting the full super class buff, which is the extra dodge chance, so they have a 77% chance to dodge, and some extra stats as well. Now one thing that you'll notice straight away here is they don't share any links with the new unit in the Gohan form outside of obviously like legendary power, which is interesting. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I don't think Gohan will kill because we've got no links except legendary power. So we're starting the turn at 500k defense. So bear in mind, when we attack, we are going to get another 200%. So we go up to 1.5 million. Then we obviously have the stacks from their super attack effect itself. Well, I say the stacks, the raises for one turn. But we also have this. So as soon as we do our first super, we get 77% extra attack anyway. So if they get a couple of supers off in the first turn, they're already easily going to be over like 3 million defense here with that 77% chance to dodge. So that's pretty good. Gohan obviously on turn 1 can be pretty tanky because we have the extra damage reduction on turn 1, so we don't need to worry about him taking damage here really. We just need him to not do too much damage, but yeah, he should be fine. Because obviously he's going to get 2 additional supers guaranteed because we've got the Rainbow Orb and we have the allies on the team, or the right ally. He only needs to have 1. I'm definitely going to do a video. I really want to try him out on just like a bond of parent and child, like fused fighter 10th anniversary kind of team, like the AGL, the STR Blue Goku and Vegeta lead from part 1, because the Goten and Trunks part of the card, not great on a team without youth and hybrid Saiyan allies, but Gohan will be perfectly fine. So 75 million for their first attack stat here. Bear in mind that's with no support, and they can build up like way more than that. So they didn't even get a chance to do a second super attack. That's kind of crazy. But fortunately, this is why I like to do this event, to do these showcases, because obviously I take units into tougher events for like other videos and stuff, right? But the point of these initial showcases is just to see how well these characters will do in terms of what kind of numbers can we build them up to and all that kind of stuff, right? So now that we're on to this second stage where we have the Immortal Zamasu, now we can obviously get a chance to see these guys actually get fully built up, because it is a thing that you do have to think about. Like, realistically, it could be an issue for this unit that with them not being a slot 1 unit, we could get stuck in that cycle where, like here for example, you go into the second phase of a fight, and let's say we were attacking Rose, you don't kill him in one turn, but you get him to like really low health, and then they come into the rotation on the next turn, but because they're not a slot 1 unit, you don't want to put them in slot 1, and then the unit in slot 1 kills the enemy and you go on to the next phase, and then you can end up stuck in that cycle where these guys always come on to the second turn of the new phase and like potentially don't even get a chance to attack. Whereas at least here we can get a chance to see what they're going to look like when they're fully built up. Because remember, like I say, when they did that first super attack, they got that first 77% buff from their passive. They can get another 2 of those. So like their attack stat should get up to a pretty high number once we actually have gotten the 3 super attacks off and then are getting our 18 key super. Bearing in mind, again, that was a turn where we had no support on the rotation either, so that is pretty good. Now Gohan's not an ideal slot 1 unit after the first turn especially, so what we can do here is switch over to the Goten and Trunks, and now we actually have some links active. Remember that their active skill is a permanent buff to youth category allies, but I don't want to get that just yet because I want to see what these guys can build up to like without having that extra support, and then we'll use the support memory and get the extra support on top. So now they're starting the turn at 800 and basically 880k defense start of turn, and then remember that they get 200% when they super attack. So when they super, that would be 2.6. Then we've got the other 77% and the 30% from their defense raise as well. So these guys definitely looking very, very good here. And then, of course, the next rotation with them, not only are we going to get the 3rd super that gives them their final 77% buff, but we're going to have the physical pan on the rotation as well for the extra support. So, because, yeah, bear in mind, this is the new LR hitting for 70 million here with their 18 key super. Is this my one or the friend one? Yeah, the friend one. I didn't actually see what dupes the friend one was. Mine's only 55%, but if you go check out the 55% showcase that I put up last night, like after the banners had come out, very, very impressive the numbers that this unit does, even at 55%. But, and that was level 1 links as well. I have started link leveling my unit. 79.3, so practically at 80 million here without support for their 2nd super attack. And then, of course, if they do get an additional here, because remember, they only have to super attack to get their build up, but of course they didn't. Now, remember, they do have the unique skill orbs as well. I grabbed a couple and just threw them on, like the level 8 defense. I think I gave them the bronze and then the gold, just like dodge ones. Maybe I would give them the additional so they can get built up quicker. That's the good thing about getting those EX orbs. And obviously, I've been grinding training in the clouds for link levels, so I've got tons of the reward items. Maybe additional would be good, because even getting that 2nd super in the 1st or 2nd turn means that they're then fully built up already, which is obviously going to be hugely beneficial for them, especially in shorter fights. So that's probably a good idea. Okay, so let's do this. Use their active skill here so they can just dodge all these attacks. Do that. So yeah, this is my friend one. This is my one, 55%. As you can see, most of their links are like 7. Got a couple of 8s and a 9, and then there is one at 6 as well. But that's only 3 type orbs. Trying to make sure we've got orbs for Gohan as well. But obviously we've got the support from Super Saiyan 2 Gohan here on the team as well. Now Goten and Trunks in slot 1 obviously will dodge everything, get their full like build up here. Physical Goten and Trunks being so like back for this team is really funny. Not something I would have expected. It was one of the showcase things. I don't know if it was the early Rainbow showcase, but like fully built up and with support. I had a turn where the physical Goten and Trunks were doing like 50 odd million for their attack, which is pretty good considering they are very good defensively. I used them around the time their EZA came out for one of the difficult event like missions at the time, and had to resort to using them as like a slot 1, and they just were dodging everything every turn. I know it's always RNG, it's the UI Goku memes, like having to rely on a dodge character, but like they're very, very good. And on this team, hitting these really high attack stats now is pretty cool. And then, yeah, my Goten and Trunks hitting 50 million on their additionals, being 55%, is pretty good. And then we can get all the dodges here, because obviously it's their first turn. They've got the higher dodge chance anyway. So they just dodge literally everything. Alright, so on this next turn, we will go ahead and see what these guys are going to look like fully built up, because this will be their third super attack. I guess we could probably just attack Zamasu now. So they're now starting off... Jeez. Okay, so they're starting off the turn at 1.6 million. So, again, before we even take into account all of their buffs from like the super attack effect and stuff like that, they get 200% when they attack. So that's like 5 million, basically. So that's pretty good. So let's do this. And again, we still haven't used their buffs. I'm still going to focus on Zamasu, because I feel like now that these guys are building up to hitting so ridiculously hard, if we kill Rose here now, we may end up finishing the event too quickly before we actually do get to see more of these guys attacking. So, there's Zamasu obviously going to heal. 68 million for the Goten and Trunks here. And bear in mind, again, we haven't used either of the Goten and Trunks active skills, which give a permanent buff to all the youth allies on the team. So, again, whilst you may not be able to realistically see all like the full build up for all these characters in some of the events that are a little bit shorter, like the ceiling on these guys is insane. That's 103 million. And bear in mind, when they do their 18 key super, they have a chance to fuse into Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, which does more damage. And that was 103 million. Then they dodged both the attacks on the way back as well. So bear in mind, that's a unit that's currently sat at like anywhere between, because the additional from the 30% from the super comes into play as well, and they got their final 77% buff. They're sat somewhere between like 5 and 6 million on that turn, and then they just dodged everything anyway. So yeah, that's pretty good. So let's go ahead and use the active skill now for Goten and Trunks here. Maybe now we can get rid of Rose. So we'll do this. Actually, maybe we should just let them get rid of Rose on the next turn, really. So, can we get 4 type orbs? Yep, there we go. Then these guys fortunately don't need any specific number of orbs, which is good. And then, yeah, Path to Power Kid Goku I really like on this team as a solid youth option that is giving a decent bit of defensive support. That little bit of extra damage reduction is really nice. And then, yeah, 77 million for these guys with the 20%, that permanent buff for the youth team. And that's my 55% one. So 77 million into an additional 52. Now, the damage that these guys do is just absolutely insane. And of course, you know, they've so far dodged like almost all the attacks that have come their way as well. Physical Goten and Trunks up to 38 here. Now I don't understand people saying that they think this team is bad. I guess, again, like this isn't one of the hardest events in the game, but like I say, this is the exact team build that I used on the stream last night to beat Rose and Zamasu, like on the first try. Now, obviously, there's some RNG involved in that because rotation locking, but we didn't even have a good second turn. The first turn, we had both the Gohan and like Goten and Trunkses. So on the second turn, I had to put this AGL Goten and Trunks in slot 1 and hope that that 77% dodge chance would come in clutch for all the attacks in slot 1, which it did. So yeah, I mean, I don't think this team is bad at all, and it's only going to get more buffs. So yeah, AGL Goten and Trunks definitely a really, really good addition to this team. And now we're going to see on this next turn, this is going to be them fully like turbocharged because their passive is now fully activated. We're going to use the second Goten and Trunks active skill. We've got the support from Int Gohan here as well. So currently they're at 2.4 million start of turn. Then we'll go ahead and use the active for these guys. So we get another permanent buff here. I mean, at this point, we could probably just put these guys in slot 1 and they'd be fine. 2.69, but obviously we do want them to attack first. That's where they do get a bunch of their extra defense. They also get What is that link that they're getting with shocking speed? They're getting shocking speed from Gohan, which gives them an extra 5% defense as well. So they're at 2.82. And then again, remember, they get 200% defense on Super. So now at this point, when we're at 282.9925, 200% defense when attacking puts them to 8.5 million defense. So that's quite good. So let's go ahead and do this. And then we'll get Rosé with these guys. Sadly, not a ton of key on this. So that's the only weird thing about them. The random key will obviously determine whether you're going to get 24 key or not, which isn't a huge deal for them. But obviously, the more key you have, the more damage you do. Like you get the full 24 key multiplier for an LR. But Goten and Trunks are 90 million here now. Now that we've got the double buffs in play, 90 million. And then additionals of 61. That is ridiculous. 120 odd million from 2 supers plus the 90. Yeah, so like over 210 million attack stat worth of supers from the Goten and Trunks there. Pretty good. And they dodge these. They dodge the super. Well, they dodge everything. Boy, 136 million, and that's the base. That's the Super Saiyan Gotenks. So 136 million. That's crazy. But yeah, they're not getting any additionals. They've got no built-in additional, basically. So yeah, I think additional is going to be good for them for the hidden potential, just because of how much damage that they do. Their defense can get up so high, and then if they do get an additional super in the turn, they're getting another 30% defense as well. So like post-super attack, like these guys currently, apart from like fully built-up Rosé, and of course the blue zone stages, which I haven't actually tried personally yet, but I know are crazy. I wanted to get the showcase for these guys done because I'll probably end up using them on one of the team builds. But ignoring those new bosses, because I can't speak to them yet, basically outside of fully built up Rosé, these guys can tank every boss in the game, like up to this point that we'd had. And of course, they just, even regardless of tanking it, they have a 77% chance to just dodge it. And so yeah, that's my 55% Goten and Trunks with the double Goten and Trunks permanent support, Pan on the rotation for a bit of support, 87 million for a 55% unit, mostly at like level 7 and 8 links. That's yeah, that's quite good, I would say. So let's go ahead and grab these. I think they got a bit of extra key this time, but we also have some AGL orbs, so get full 24 key with them here. Yeah, 2 million defense start of turn without any extra support is pretty crazy. I won't hit the nodes here for the Goten and Trunks because I don't want to get their active skill. Or get the Dokkan attack and do too much damage because we want to see AGL Goten and Trunks. So it probably won't be as high as the previous turn because we don't have that extra support. Obviously the fact their defense is lower is showing that they are getting less of a buff on this turn than they were previously. But yeah, this is the problem I was talking about with like these events and characters like these guys that don't want to be in slot 1. Now that these guys are getting all the effect of the build up, like Goten and Trunks might not actually get another chance to attack, especially considering now on this turn. Yeah, I think this rotation is probably like they're just going to get absolutely GG'd here, aren't they? And by they I mean Zamasu, obviously. But there you go. So it's interesting when you give them this playground so you can see them actually fully built up and see what their ceiling is. They are absolutely insane. The question is, will they reach that during a normal event? I mean, during that Rosé and Zamasu attempt from the stream, I did see their, like, the last time they got to attack was them dropping the 18 key that did like 100 million. And obviously for me, that was my first time using them since I Super EZA'd them. So obviously was very, very impressed. Very impressed with the Goten and Trunks, like LR as well, especially even at 55%. These guys are putting out numbers. And then, yeah, there you go. Physical Goten and Trunks. No support unit on the rotation. Oh, no, wait. Is this the turn? Do we have Part of Power Goku or do we have Super Saiyan 2 Gohan? Okay, yeah, we have Gohan. So with support, 50 million into a 55 for these guys. And the fact that they back that up by having like crazy dodge chance. We've got the full Kamehameha rotations. They've got like all these extra buffs. 58 million for the third super of the turn. And then, yeah, Gohan can just come in at the end, 46 mil. 46 million for a guy that's basically just hanging out in slot 3, providing a bunch of support. And then that will finish off Zamasu. So, there you go. You can see, like, you could get into an awkward spot where they don't get to attack sometimes. But, man, these guys are crazy. Like, they're Super EZA, very, very good. Definitely what the team needed. Their restriction, especially if you have the new unit, like their restriction is just entirely met by being on the team with the 2 new units as leader. So yeah, very, very good. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. But yeah, I think they're a very, very good, very impressive Super EZA. I'll probably go ahead and change the build on mine now to give them a bit more additional. But yeah, super good. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.